So we're on the bus on our way to stage 5 of the Giro Donne. Today is the Queen stage. We have 104 Ks with 2,500 metres of climbing, which is a pretty tough day, especially as the first climb comes 16 Ks into the race, and it's a Cat 1 climb. I think it's about 10 Ks at an average of 8.5%. So it's a pretty brutal start, and I think there's a lot of nerves, both from our leaders, but also the workers of the team and of the bunch. With such a hard climb to start with, it means no matter what group you're in, it's going to be a hard day. Like if you get dropped early, you're going to be racing hard to try and make time cut, which is 25%. So based off the fastest time, that's around 35 minutes after the winner. So if you get dropped early, you've really got to make sure that your group keeps riding so that you can, make it through the next day. But then also, of course, our leaders, there's nerves there. Like today's a really big GC day, and you're racing for GC and also the stage win. So we've had a big breakfast. We've got a chef here, so we've all had pancakes and oats and as much food as you can stomach, really, to try to prepare for today. So it's stage 5. For some riders, like this is their first Giro, so they're kind of taking it day by day, seeing how their legs feel. But I think overall, most of us are feeling pretty good. Nervous, but looking forward to getting over today and then into the last few days of the Giro. So wish us luck, and let's see how we go.
Thank you so much to Lauretta Hanson for a pre-stage diary to lead us into stage 5 of the Giro d'Italia. Now over to Hannah and I to break down all of the action for the Wheel Talk podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Hello, Hannah Barnes. We're back. Stage 5 of the Giro Donne. Giro Donne? Everyone pronounces it differently.
I don't know. I've done the race a lot of times and I still don't know.
Stage 5 was the Queen stage, a pretty short race, 105.6 kilometers, with a Category 1 climb early in the day and then multiple Category 3 climbs later on in the stage. It was won by Antonia Niedermeyer of the Canyon SRAM racing team. She won solo by 9 seconds over Annemiek van Vleuten, and a group of 3 came in to take the final podium spot. Niamh Fisher-Black finished third. An awesome ride for Niamh after a couple hard days. Juliette Lebeau is fourth, and Veronica Ewers had quite the day to get into fifth on the stage and retain third overall. Veronica Ewers checking in now.
Hey, this is Veronica coming at you from the massage table after stage 5. And boy, what a day. With no surprise, Annemiek went for it on the first climb, which was 10-ish kilometers, averaging 8 to 9%. It was just an explosion within the first 16 kilometers of the race. It was full gas into the base of the climb and then full gas on the climb, it seemed. Then a very, very sketchy descent after the big climb. My group was chasing a group of, I think, 11 at the front, and I guess they were attacking quite a bit when Niedermeyer got away on an attack, and then we caught up to that chasing group right before the last main climb of the day, and then it blew up again, and then it was just a fight into the finish. Brutal day out. Lots of really tough climbing and just pretty full gas all day. Personally, and somehow was revived to finish, but I didn't think I'd be able to. On to tomorrow. Should be another tough day. Honestly, these last 4 stages are going to be pretty full gas, I expect. And some awesome racing coming from the women's Giro this year. Oh, also definitely want to mention, I really hope Elisa's okay. That crash looked horrendous.
But there was a massive shakeup in the general classification, with Elisa Longoborghini going down on pretty hard on a descent, finishing multiple minutes down and definitely out of the GC. Not sure if she's going to race the 6th stage. Keep an eye on escapecollective.com. There will be an update on there whether or not she's going to continue racing. But crossed the finish line with Sharon Van Enroy, like arm in arm, which was a very touching moment. But yeah, it was a crazy day. It was like a totally crazy day. My call that Annemiek van Vleuten was going to go on the first climb turned out to be correct. Annemiek van Vleuten broke away with Gaia Riolini on that first climb. She said after the race that she actually did it just so she didn't have to descend with everybody, which is a classic Van Vleuten move. She's done that before.
Yeah, I mean, it's a clever one. If you can do it, then it's always good to have a little advantage going down the descent and just doing it at your own pace. But yeah, I mean, as soon as it goes uphill, she just like it's her time to shine. So I wasn't too surprised seeing her go away on that climb, just because like racing her, I know that she is a little bit timid when it's a big group. So whenever she can, she always likes to be in a smaller group. So it's a good way to do it.
Well, it started out as quite a good day for Lidl-Trek with Gaia Riolini up there, and then a group of 2 caught up with them with Niamh Fisher-Black and Elisa Longoborghini, and the 4 of them were caught in between the climbs by a bigger group, and then there was a lot of attacks that went from there, and it looked pretty good for Trek Segafredo. I mean, they had Gaia in there, they had Elisa in there. And when Niedermeyer went, she went with Fisher-Black, actually. And the 2 of them just blew by a group of 2 that was Juliette Lebeau and Sylvia Persico. And they went by them so fast. And Fisher-Black couldn't quite keep up with the young German rider, only 20 on Canyon SRAM. But from behind, Annemiek did the classic thing where she's like, okay, well, I don't want to chase, so I'm just going to attack. And it was her and Elisa Longoborghini, and they got really, really close to catching Niedermeyer. They were about 13 seconds, I think, at the top of the final climb with Van Vleuten. Elisa tried to attack Van Vleuten. It did not work. Van Vleuten went over the top of that climb with like 3 seconds on Elisa. And going down the descent, they were definitely sending it. And Van Vleuten went down, but she was fine. She kind of just popped back up, got on her bike. And then Elisa went down on almost the exact same spot, just a little bit earlier in the corner. And it took her minutes to kind of get back onto her bike. It was not a fun replay to watch, that's for sure.
No, I'm just pleased that she was able to get back on her bike because, yeah, that's never good. Those high-speed crashes on descents, it's even though she's in a lot of pain, it's still the fact that she could still even comprehend getting back on her bike is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. And she was really slow to get back on her bike and kind of rode very gingerly to the line. So I don't know if she's going to continue, but better that she was able to than the alternative, which is, being taken off of the course by an ambulance. So definitely like on the good side of things considering, but a bummer for the team because they went into this stage really flying high after stage 4, after Elisa's win and with her 3rd overall. And now they have just Gaia 5th overall, 3 minutes and 14 seconds back. The GC is really quite distant now. For pretty much everybody is 2 minutes behind Van Vleuten, 2 minutes plus behind Van Vleuten. Niedermeyer is now in second, 2 minutes and 7 seconds down, with Veronica Ewers like barely holding on to 3rd. She got dropped on that first climb. She caught back on with the group when Niedermeyer was already up the road and ended up finishing in that group of 3, which was a massive ride for her to hold on to 3rd overall because, she almost lost it today.
That's a pretty exciting stage. It's really good to see Antonia win. She was on the Canyon SRAM generation team last year and she moved up this year with Canyon SRAM team. And it's just really cool to be able to see a rider that has been given that opportunity to kind of use out those 2 years in the generation team to develop. And then 20 years old winning a Giro stage is pretty impressive and potentially being on the podium as well. it just kind of shows how important the grassroots is of the sport, and there's all this talent coming up and you just need to be able to nurture it. And Germany have got potentially their new star rider coming up.
I mean, like, not only to win the Queen's stage while being chased down by Annemiek van Vleuten, the world champion, in the pink jersey, because Annemiek was within touching distance of Antonia for a while. In the final, like, 3K, it was definitely a will she, won't she? It was really, really close. And Niedermayer just held that gap in the final kilometers to win the stage. And when she crossed the line, she couldn't even lift her arms up. Like, she just turned her garment off.
It's so impressive, like, to have Van Vleuten chasing you. You know, like, if Van Vleuten gets a sniff of a win, she's going to put everything in. Like, I don't even think she feels pain. She just go into this place that no one else can go. So to be able to hold her off, it is so impressive. And yeah, she should have a lot of confidence from that.
And tomorrow, I think, will be another interesting stage. Not so much a general classification stage, possibly. It's the 6th stage is pretty flat for the first part of the day, and then there's 3 Category 3 climbs in the end, with a final Category 3 climb closing out the stage. A hilltop finish. It's only 2.8 kilometers long, so it's not a super long climb, but there's 9% parts in the beginning, and then it kind of peters out to like 5% near the top. So I think if there is going to be a stage for the breakaway, tomorrow might be it. Although Marianne Vos is hunting that 33rd career Giro victory. So
I mean, looking at it, it's a breakaway day. So potentially Vos might try and get in there. It's not really going to be one that the GC needs to control. Like, Movistar can kind of just take a free ride now for the next two stages. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. I like races, like when the 6th and the 7th stage comes along, it's kind of GC's almost sealed. Like the top teams' spots have already kind of, it's not really a stage tomorrow where they really need to focus and worry about that. And it's just good stages like that. Like I always loved it when you just like go through the race book and you just pick the ones that are the breakaway days, and that was the one that you try and wanted like get in the breakaway for. So yeah, those stages are fun, and for the viewers as well, it's just, yeah, it's going to be good. I think like the teams that have missed out a little bit over the last few stages are going to really be on it tomorrow and just want to get into those breakaways. And yeah, I reckon there'll be a lot of X jerseys trying to get in that breakaway tomorrow. I hope so anyway.
It's going to be an awesome day. I think it's interesting how in the last couple of years, the breakaway days have been harder to predict. Before, I feel like in the last 2 years, there's been this interesting shift where like sometimes the breakaway goes on a stage where you're like, I didn't see this as a breakaway stage. And sometimes it's a stage that looks like a breakaway day and it ends up being one for the general classification. So tomorrow, we'll see. But Hannah, thanks so much for chatting with me. We'll be back tomorrow, stage 6. We have an audio diary from Niamh Fisher-Black, who had a bit of a comeback ride today. Really awesome to see her on the podium for the stage. So let's hear from Niamh.
Hello, it's Niamh. To touch on stage 4 of Giro Donne. Stage 4 was pretty much uphill all day. The profile looked pretty scary just because, yeah, you finish higher than you start, so you can imagine. But it was nothing too intense climbing, just short, gradual climbs. But it adds up. Fatigues the body in the end. It was the longest day I think we have here. So the last climb, although it didn't look like much on paper, was pretty hard. And Annemiek and Longo slipped away, which kind of went against us because no one from our team could follow. Bit of bad positioning there, bit of bad tactics, I guess. But we wanted Loretta to sprint again, and she never ceases to surprise us with her climbing. She did really good. But yeah, wasn't to be. So 4th for us in the end. But yeah, then we had a nice 3-hour transfer to the next hotel, which is always lovely. We're changing hotels every night here at the Giro, which is, yeah, normally at least you get a couple nights in the same hotel, but nah, every day changing here. So I'm living out of a little suitcase. And stage 5, I think we can definitely call this. Today was the Queen stage of the Giro Donne. A lot of climbing, and that started 10k's into the stage. So yeah, I don't think I've ever started a race so full gas. It was like sprint trains from the gun. I was quite nerve-wracking, but I just kept on telling myself to hold my teammates' wheels. I had Lorena and Bubby and Elena, who were sprint train experts, to navigate me through a charging peloton to the bottom of the main climb of the day, which was 10 plus Ks at like 8 to 9%, something crazy like that. So hard, and Annemiek decided to go from the bottom, which was a lovely opener. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the way I climbed today. Just didn't manage to claw my way back to Gaia and Annemiek by the top of the climb, but I was close enough that I closed it eventually with Longo in the descent after I had a little tumble. So I'm glad actually that I managed to get back on my bike in time for Longo to come past me, and then I had a nice wheel to follow the right lines all the way down. But that was the common theme of today. Lots of crazy descending, twisty, bumpy Italian roads, and yeah, it was pretty nice for me to find myself with the front four for a large part of the race, but also a little bit scary because you're just with four with about a long way to go and a lot of climbing. But in the end, yeah, a small group came back to us of more GC riders, and yeah, then we were just all looking at each other, and yeah, it was attack after attack, and yeah, lucky one from Antonia and Niamh had managed to slip away. I tried to jump across to it, admittedly, but yeah, to be honest, after my little crash on the first descent, I was very nervous today. Unfortunately, that's sometimes how the head works, you know. As much as you try to talk yourself out of it, like, you get a little block in your brain. That's the tricky thing. But so yeah, I was just playing it too safe on the descents today, but rather that than come down again. Yeah, in the end, I also couldn't quite follow Annemiek and Longo on the final climb. But yeah, maybe it was a little blessing in disguise, because then I got forewarned that they crashed on that tricky last descent, and I backed off completely when I heard that they had crashed. And I got down around there safely. So yeah, I mean, then I sprinted to third, which was, I mean, really nice for a confidence boost, but also a little bit bittersweet, because yeah, when you have good legs like today, and you always want more. But yeah, it's definitely the confidence boost I needed, and really nice day actually, to do that on the Queen stage of the Giro, and there's plenty more days to come, so I'm keeping my head high. Yeah, we're in another nice hotel today, got the air conditioning cranked up, hoping for a good night's sleep, a little bit cooler, but yeah, on to tomorrow, more days to come. See you then.